And when he talks about the reservoir of trust, what he says is this: you can trust, and it's very similar to the echo actually. He says, you can trust that whatever you say or do, you'll get a response from the world. There'll always be communication coming back to you. The reservoir of trust is that's what you can trust. Not that it's going to work out for you or that everything's going to be okay, but you can trust that you'll always be you'll always be in communication with your world. Your world will always be giving you the information you need to practice the discipline of openness. The world will always be giving you the messages. And he says, you begin to feel that it's a very rich world, one that never runs out of messages. Wow. I feel like that is a description of the direction of the transformation of consciousness, direction that we can go. That instead of a world that is a threat and a promise, that every situation is a threat or a promise, you begin to feel that it's a very rich world, one that never runs out of messages. A bank of richness, he said, and it's a reservoir that never dries up. Like there's always going to be communication with your world, and you can always be learning how to go forward. And he said the only way it dries up is if you try to fuss with it and make it turn out the way you want it to. Then it dries up and you don't get the clear messages anymore because the prajna is not working, there's no clear seeing, and it's not manifesting as skillful means where you can communicate in a compassionate and really helpful way with other people and with the world. So the first quality is trust, and it's really trust in the richness of the world. And the second one follows from that, and it's joy or appreciation. And this is a teaching I absolutely love, and I use it all the time in my own life. This all-pervasive discipline of openness. For me, a lot, it comes from this teaching on trust and the teaching on music or joy. It says, where does the joy come from? It comes from realizing that nothing is ever a dead end. That whatever is happening right now in present time is the fruition of something and the seed of something else. It's a process, it's dynamic. And I notice over and over, especially when bad things happen, that there's a sense of fixing it, fixating it, feeling like it's always going to be like this. Like this terrible thing has happened and it's like a heavy rock around your neck that's dragging you down. Literally, it drags you down into depression, or it drags you down into tremendous fear, terror, or incapacitating self-doubt. So it's a word that's used in this sense of appreciation and joy is a kind of doubtlessness. Sometimes it's referred to as eternal doubtlessness. Doubtlessness that no feeling is final. That's a quote from Rilke. No feeling is final. It's the end of something, and it's the beginning of something else. It's always the start of something fresh, even if at the same time, simultaneously, it's the fruition and the seed of what's to come. So beginning to have, I once heard teaching from the translator Herbert Gunther, and he used the expression water logic as opposed to rock logic. And rock logic is, this is it. It's like this. The catastrophe has happened. We've just had election day, and the results were what they will be. And then either you're elated by that or depressed by that, but it can feel like the best of days or the worst of days. You feel like this is it. But actually it's just the seed of tomorrow and next week and next month, and the whole thing just keeps moving forever, actually, dynamic, flowing in and out. And if the minds and hearts of people like ourselves, such a big group of people, if even some of us begin to have this leap of consciousness, or even a little tiptoe in the direction of transformation of consciousness towards this more fluid, open way of relating with the world, then this joy or appreciation, tenderness for the world is the result of that. Because you're never like doomed to a certain result, and you're not ping-ponged around like a ping-pong ball, up, down, you know, mediocre, mediocre, up, down. We love, actually, the up, down, as opposed to boring, humdrum, every day the same, seemingly. But this reservoir of trust, it doesn't matter if it's a humdrum, I am brushing my teeth for probably the zillionth time in my life, and I find it incredibly boring, so I am going to have sexual fantasies while I do it. Or make plans for the next wonderful thing that's going to happen. Anything but be present, you know, with, you know, you get to be my age and you really appreciate the few remaining teeth that you have. So a sense of joy and appreciation that comes not from things going well or things, not from the outer circumstances, but from seeing it all as a dynamic flow. That there's a trust that you're always going to get messages and be communicating from the world. And hope, as Trungpa Rinpoche says, success and failure are the path. Success and failure are the path of awakening. That is a very different way. That is definitely coming from the place of the tender heart, coming from that's a fearless approach to our life, is that we can be with it fully.